Okay, I'm just going to go over some basic striking methods. I'm not teaching Fa-jing on this lesson. Fa-jing comes much later in your training. You've got to do all your form work, your push hands, small sansao, all of that stuff to get the correct waist action in order to attain Fa-jing. So I'm just going to teach some basic striking methods, just using a basic connection to the waist from here. Okay, first strike, we always start off with rounded strikes. It's much easier to get a connection to your waist using a rounded strike rather than using like a straight driving type of action. So we're going to hold the mitt holder. You can do this on a punch bag as well, of course, if you've got one of those. Otherwise, mitt holder holds the mitt so it's sideways onto you. We're assuming that kind of thing coming around into the side of the jaw, like that. We're using what's called a bear paw, like that. So we're not using the typical this type of fist, like that. We're using the flat part of the fist. A little bit of the heel palm and these knuckles here. Thumbs on the top, normal Tai Chi fist position. We're coming in from the side. Now the first thing we want to do is just try to get this kind of thing by where obviously you're not just using your shoulder muscles to hit the thing. You've got to try to connect to your body, swing it out and follow through as you sink into your right leg. So you start slightly weighted back, you're going to transfer the weight, twisting, opening your hips to the left and bang. But see, even when I'm doing it slowly like that, what I'm doing is I'm not creating a rigid connection. So I don't want this kind of thing like, see, that's like a robot, like a stiff connection from hip to fist. What I want is this kind of thing. If I exaggerate the principle, it's like this. That kind of thing, like a rag doll. So you open the hip and everything else down to the fist gets slightly delayed and left behind up until the fist actually makes contact. So when we hit the target, you're starting like that, not too far away from it. So never do this when you're throwing punches. Yeah, you'll get more power, but anyone can get power from back there. So you're not training anything new. Plus, I go like that, a good boxer, boom, is going to punch you on the nose and you're not going to make contact with it anyway. So always punch straight off the front hand. So just like that, right foot forward, right palm forward. See? It's just a follow through method. So I'm not using Fa-jing. Fa-jing is too hard to get right from square one. So I'm just opening the hip. Make sure that the most important thing here is, and you'll notice, I'm not in any way doing this before I strike. That's a load. Any good fighter will see that and he'll take you to the ground as you're doing your load. You've got to be able to just open your hips straight into the strike. So get that looseness of arm, open the hip, let the shoulder open, and then it'll follow through as you sink into your front leg. A loose connection like a rubber band. And see how my center now is facing right over here, making sure that I've used the right body method. Later on in your training, you get much closer and you'll be able to recoil and still be facing forward with the same amount of power using your Fa-jing action where we recoil the waist in one motion. But you can't be expected to learn that straight away, so we use the follow-through method first. So swing through, you've got your waist basically center facing the target, you're going to open the waist and bang, and your waist, everything is now facing right over here as your waist down in your front leg. So that's the most simple and basic shot that you can do. Like that. Very important element with any type of striking, whether you're using a fist, a palm, whether it's sideways or forward or down or up, does not matter, is your contact area. Now see where I'm hitting there, I'm obviously just aiming for the center of the mitt. The most important thing though, if I hit the mitt like this for instance, now I'm still swinging with a lot of power, but 50% of my power is sliding off the bottom of the mitt, so I'm not making full contact when I hit it. I need, if you just look lightly, watch, that's me skimming the mitt, so my power is coming down this way. Now, I'm hitting just with a light pressure, but the pressure is now going into the target. That's what's most important. Of course, if I'm doing a circle, so eventually, yes, it's going to have to slide off to come back to my opposite shoulder. However, the power is offloaded there, straight into the mitt, and now it circles back afterwards. You can understand the principle more easily with say, a straight punch. When I'm doing a straight punch, I'm not going like this, because that's still a curve. That's coming around like this. I can feel the mitt scraping on my knuckles. What I want is for the mitt to go straight in, like that. So I'm pushing straight into the target, but only after I make contact does it recoil back. So it's like it'll pump straight forward, there's the contact, then it circles back. So the circle is creating the recoil, it's not creating the power. In the case of a rounded shot, of course the whole thing is still rounded, but you've got to make the contact point just before it gets to the pinnacle of the circle. If you're making the contact as you're coming back on yourself, on the rear part of the circle, that's where you're going to get this slicing method. So that's the most important thing. Just very lightly practice and try to make sure you feel the impact going straight into your hand and not brushing down your knuckles. Like that. And then just speed it up so you can really swing through it. Making sure you've got that total relaxation. Hit the mitt like you're doing your first move of your small sansa when we drop the arms, so that you're not getting any tension in the shoulders. You throw it out and then just relax everything down, just to make sure you're not holding tension in your body afterwards. And then we pick it up from there. Okay, the reverse of that is a nice back fist. This is Aaron Perry, by the way, one of my students and lead guitarist for our band. Okay, this time we're going to do exactly the same principle, but coming backwards this time. Nothing different. You're obviously using the back part of the fist this time. We use either these 3 knuckles together, whether it be a straight punch or with the back of the fist. It's always those 3 bones that run parallel to each other, or these 2, because you can distribute the power over those knuckles. Don't hit the center, because otherwise the pressure will be like that, see? Just on one knuckle or one bone down the center of your hand. And if you hit him in the neck, yeah, you'll be okay because it's soft, but it might hit him in the head or something, you can crack that knuckle. So be careful there. So you see the angle of the fist. I wouldn't angle it up, that's going to make the top parts make contact. It's slightly angled down, like that. So all you're going to do this time is just start like that, center facing away from the mitt, and just twist your body into the mitt. Same principle, close your fist just on contact. Oh, with the other one, of course, that one we were talking about before, just like in the forms you've been learning, only close your fist on contact. Don't hold a fist and swing it. As soon as you hold a fist, you create tension in the body and it'll slow you down. You've got to hold looseness in the arms, and just as it makes contact, bang, it flexes and then it's loose again. Same principle for the back fist. So we're like that. You're going to load it. It's a slightly yang shaped hand that's going to come through and be a slightly yin shaped hand, the opposite to the previous one. The previous strike was a yin shaped hand and it came through, bang, where it makes contact. As you can see, there's a slight flex in the palm, so it's a yang shape. This time it's going to be a slight yin shape on contact. So just start there, and see again, I'm just following through. So I'm not doing the advanced methods of that, where we recoil and use Fa-jing. I'm just carrying on through, making sure you got that looseness of body. Okay, so exactly the same principle, just twist your waist. You got that delayed reaction, not like a robot action, but a wah, bang. Make sure again the contact is going straight in and not brushing down. You're just sinking your weight into your front leg. So make like you're in a position like as if you've done a block. You've blocked maybe a swing punch, bang, and then you're coming back into his face here. So 1, 2, and follow it through. Like that. Okay, last one. We'll now work on a slightly straighter punch. So we're assuming now a punch straight into the throat in this way. All we're going to do with this one is a flat punch like that. It's the easiest one to get with reference to creating a straight fist punch like that. Same knuckles as before, the bottom 3, but of course it's going to be the front part of them this time and not the back area. You're going to put your left leg forward this time, so opposite leg to the hand you're using. Same principle as before, in that you're going to open the waist and have that delayed reaction down to the fist. So the shoulder's going to open up, the elbow's going to bend, and then the fist will come through just at the last minute. Only we've got to generate that with going straight forward this time. So that's all we're going to do. Still a loose hand, so it's loose and open. It'll go bang and then loose again. Now with this one, you've got to make sure that even though again, as I say, we're not doing Fa-jing yet. We're not snapping the waist back. We're just pushing through. So we're just turning from here. My center is facing to the right-hand side of the mitt, and it finishes facing to the left-hand side of the mitt. So I'm just getting that nice twist of body, but you notice I'm not following through. So I'm not going like this and ending up over here. I'm not in a good position here. If whether I've hit him or whether I've missed, I'm not in a good balanced point to re-attack and to coordinate with whatever he might do afterwards. So you make sure, see, I'll just let my fist actually make contact, bang, and then kind of just bounce off. So effectively what we're trying to do is, with the strikes, in particular straight strikes, pumping actions, when you make contact, there's the contact. As soon as you feel the contact, relax. Don't make contact and then keep the contact on the person. So it's like if I'm actually hitting someone with what I won't punch him in the throat, I'll just punch here. This would be at the throat. There's the contact, right? What I want is, that's where I'm going to stop, assuming this would, I'd obviously be hitting more powerfully, but that's where the punch stops. I'm not going to go, see, and then push through afterwards. All that does is it slows me down and it pushes him away from me. When I hit someone, I want him to stay there, then I can hit him again. If I go bang and push him over there, I've got to follow him in order to be able to hit him again. Or it's going to give him a much better reaction time because he's been knocked back, he can gain his balance again and come back with something. So much better to only strike and not push after your strike. So hit it and then bounce off. Don't hit it and push through and find yourself off balance. So just like that, remember, open, delayed reaction, fist just forms on contact, bang, but as you feel the mitt on the fist, just relax your body, relax your shoulders. As I say, after you've made contact, just drop, relax everything, and drop down, drop down. All of these strikes can be done with a palm if you prefer. If you don't like to use a fist, sometimes you can be a bit more loose if you're just starting out using a palm. In particular, if you're a female, you've got very small wrists, sometimes you may not like using fists. So the opening one that we did, that one, just open your hand up. Exactly the same principle, but you're going to use the open palm. In this case, use the whole hand, not just the heel palm. The whole fingers, all the way down to here and down to here. So when you're coming in like that, just like that. It's a very powerful strike. Same thing with the backhand, same principle, those three. Just leave the hand open this time. So you've done a block across and come across that way with your strike. Same with the straight one. You're assuming you're coming this way. Obviously you wouldn't use it into the throat if you were using a palm because it simply wouldn't fit. You'd use that straight into the nose, or if it was over this side, into the temple or something like that. So same principle like that. Yin hand, flex it out, just like the punch, same body mechanic. Use the open palm. Like that. And remember to be loose and relaxed afterwards. So that'll give you a basic understanding of how we strike in the internal arts. Later on I'll bring in some more different types of methods, but those are the most simple type of strikes that you can do in the street. Keep in mind when you're talking about self-defense, if it's a self-defense situation, say Aaron's throwing a big hook punch with that hand, right? Okay, so I'll come in here. Don't use what we've just learned if you're still kind of a bit slow and swingy with it. Don't bring it from back here because he's gonna block that with the other hand or throw another punch. So if you want, use that, for instance, that straight one, even though you might not have a lot of power with it straight away, just a light jab into the eyes or into the throat. So you might go bang, there he's a bit choked up, and then whoom, then you can bring your side one in that's going to have more power. Or, as I say, if you're a small person, that backhand works beautifully. You might want to do like a double-handed block with a pung here and a knife edge here, so that you've got extra protection if you're a small-framed person. So you're going, wah, there's that, and bang, there's the back palm coming into the side of the jaw there. You'll be striking just in behind the tip of the jaw. Triple heater 17, knockout. Okay, that'll do you for lesson 1 of how to hit things.